Hi, I'm Blair Marnell, TV channel editor for CraveOnline. We're here at YouTube Space LA for the final episode of Futurama.
David and I created Futurama together. You know, when you grow up and you're in school and you're supposed to be paying attention and you do your own little projects on the side, and those are the most fun projects. That's what we were doing when we were at The Simpsons. That's how we created Futurama.
How many final episodes have you had for the show at this point?
I'm going to give you my definition. We call it a final episode if at the time we wrote it, we thought it was going to be our final episode. This is our fourth final episode, and I think it's probably our best last episode ever.
In the history of television, actually not in the history of television, in the history of Futurama, it's in the top 5.
Hermes really kind of grew in importance over the years. He seemed like kind of a bit player in the first season. He got more and more important as the series went on. So was that a conscious decision that he would always become that, or was that just out of how much they enjoyed your performance?
I don't know. I think with an ongoing show, you end up having to mine the veins wherever they are. You know, there's only so many stories you can do about Fry and Leela not being able to get together. Eventually, you have to expand and work with all the characters that you've got.
You're Fry, Zoidberg, and the Professor. Who else are you on this show?
Zap Brannigan, master of time, space, and everything else in between, and, winner of this year's Modesty Award.
Man, all this constant exposure to radiation is making me thirsty.
Good news, everyone! Bad news. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Young lady, bring me a sandwich from the dumpster and leave the maggots on it. I'm scuttling.
I love all 72 of my children. I've done 72 different and distinct characters, either one-offs or recurrings or regulars, like Lieutenant Kif Croker, Morbo the newscaster, Calculon the star of all my circuits, the Bombot, and Clamps, and Hedonism Bot. I love them all. I think I have a special soft spot for Kif. You know, he's that sensitive side, and he's always put upon, but somehow, when he found love with Amy, he sort of morphed into this quasi-romantic hero. It was kind of neat to play that.
Did you ever use Spock as inspiration for Kif?
I asked Matt when we first developed the character, because Matt said he's Spock if Spock had to deal with William Shatner rather than Captain Kirk. And we initially tried a very Spockian kind of voice for him. He goes, no, that's not right. It doesn't look like it would come out of him. I said, well, does he have emotions? Is he pure logic? Or he goes, no, he'll have emotions, mostly annoyance. So, I kind of let go of the Nimoy thing. And what we did was we combined kind of a John Lovitz pissiness with a Truman Capote world weariness, sort of oh, sir, it seems the rest of the crew doesn't share your passion for velour, married with, oh, sir, it doesn't seem the rest of the crew shares your passion for velour. And it sort of became, well, sir, it seems the rest of the crew doesn't share your passion for velour.
Now, what were you looking to put into the final episode to kind of wrap up the series? It always had to be Fry and Leela, right?
That's our go-to final episode at this point. You know your show has had some problems when you're getting good at writing your last episode of the series. So, unfortunately, that's the boat we're in. But on the bright side, I think we got a great episode for tonight. And the Fry Leela romance is something that the fans have gotten wrapped up in. So we are gonna deliver the goods with Fry and Leela's wedding.
He just gave away the wedding. I mean, come on, who does that, right? You don't give away the wedding. But is there something else up his sleeve when he says their wedding? Maybe yes. Maybe yes. In fact, yes. Not maybe, yes. As he said in another interview, he said this is a very romantic gore fest. I think this is an astonishing episode. It delivers the goods on the sappy level and emotion and all that romantic stuff, but also there's incredible amount of violence, and it's really sweet violence too, in that it's completely enjoyable and guilt-free, as you will see.
It was emotional for me when it was closing down. We had to tell Comic-Con that, if you see us getting smaller, it means we're leaving. And I didn't feel like being a wiseacre, and I wasn't screwing around trying to be funny or pithy or witty. I was just really emotional, where I was like, just thank you. I was tongue-tied. Me. Believe it or not.
What is your favorite Futurama moment?
I think it was when we had William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy in the studio at the same time recording an episode of Futurama, and our entire crew, all of the producers, assistants, writers wanted to see them. but we didn't want to terrify them by having 100 people jammed into the studio, so everyone hid in the tiny recording booth while Shatner and Nimoy came in and did their lines. And the second it ended, like the door burst open like a clown car. Everyone exploded out, and we said, since you've already done this, we're going to ask you for a few photos. And we then kept them there for like another hour taking photos with 100 people. So that was fun.
Don't date robots, which I think is a good message.
Do you have a favorite Hermes moment from all these years?
It's probably between the episode where we find out Hermes is a limbo champion, or the big song and dance number in the bureaucrat episode where Hermes requisitions his groove back. One of those two.
There was a lot of things that I thought were typos when I read them on the script. Like somebody said to Fry, "Hey Fry, I heard beer makes you stupid," and he goes,
No, I'm doesn't.
and I went, David? Yes. This is like it says, "No, I'm doesn't." Is that like a typo? I didn't get it. And he said, "Please read it as written." And I said, "Okay." And "No, I'm doesn't." He says, "We have it." And then when it came on that night, and it was shown where the scene came up, and Fry said, "No, I'm doesn't," I went, "Ah!" Because I didn't get it. I didn't get it, and now I do. It's like this great way of talking.
The karaoke kiff in Amazon Women in the Mood, having to sing 2 octaves above where I naturally speak, and to sing Total Eclipse of the Heart, that was a challenge, I have to say. Once upon a time I was falling in love. Any more than that, you'll have to pay for the song. But I love doing that, and I love anytime Kiff has to fumfer, the moment where he, really rose to the occasion and saved the day on Bungalow, Rome. I liked, even though it was only drawn, I didn't have to perform anything. I liked when he learned to be a bit of a bad boy at the end of Proposition Infinity, and he shows up with the biker jacket on. That was kind of cool for Kiff.
Great Lion of Zion! Because I think that was actually our first something of something. But all of those are my favorites. And I kept wondering when they were going to run out of animals that rhymed with places.
Like, if you ever had the chance to come back, which crossovers would you like to do with Futurama?
Well, we're actually going to get to do a Simpsons Futurama crossover. Other than that, I think I once saw this fan art of characters from Futurama as X-Men characters, and I think that would be absolutely hilarious, like a Futurama Marvel crossover.
Do you guys have any other plans where if you could continue Futurama, where would you go from here?
I think we're going to try to make it a show that's only for watches. Smart watches.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see, is there anything on Comedy Central? No, they're out. We're looking for another home. We'll figure it out. Or David and I will do it as puppets. Online, live.